So the two articles that I found that I think that support this field-based assignment, the first one I found was written by someone that commented on just the use of technology in the classroom with millennials. And Julie Evan comments, I'm going to read the direct quote, that today's students are just more tech savvy. They rely on technology as an essential component to every aspect of their lives. They aren't just using technology in different ways, they are approaching their life and daily activities differently because of technology. And I think this quote is important because it shows the necessity for integrating technology within the classroom, because students are approaching everything they do with a technological frame of mindset. And so it's important that we as teachers take advantage of that and use it as much as possible within the classroom. And I think that this is strengthened. Think it's necessary to incorporate technology in your classroom? Like, do you feel the need? Do you have to do it? What are your rules for technology?
Okay. I feel it's a necessary.
Okay.
I have a degree in computer education.
Wow, okay.
That's my master's is in computer education.
Okay.
And when technology started back in the late 80s, mid 80s, we had one computer in the school and it was in my room.
Wow, okay.
And it was in BASIC, and I had to write the programs
Okay.
for the school to use until they wrote programs that we could use. But anyway,
Wow.
then I ran a computer lab for 14 years.
Wow,
For
okay.
K through 8. I feel it's important that they learn the technology because it is our future.
Yes, yeah.
I think if we don't use any technology, that they're not going to be ready for the future and for the jobs that are out there.
Yes.
They need to be prepared. But I also think that, sadly, the gaming has taken over the education.
Okay.
And everything has to be a game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's sad. Even in the early programs, there was some game element to it, but there was a lot more education, I found.
Yes.
And I only chose those programs that fostered that.
Okay.
when I bought for our program. I think we've put in the Chromebooks here at St. Bridget in the past 2 years. One of the things that we've lost with computers is the children's ability, or even adults' ability, to write.
Yes.
To write in a legible manner. We now have to ask the parents to print their name before they sign it, because when they sign it, you can't tell whose parent it is, because they look like squigglies.
Yeah.
And it's amazing that the banks will take that as a signature on a check, but they do. So the written word is dying, which I think is sad.
Yeah.
It's neat to get an email card from somebody, but I still, when I get a card through the mail,
It means a lot.
it means a lot more
Yeah,
to me. I can
too.
save it. I
Yeah.
can put it on my desk. I think technology is excellent. I think there are a lot of good things. But I think, I had a parent 2 weeks ago email me before Easter, how do I get my kid? The kid has not done any homework. He has failed my class 3 quarters, is failing it again this quarter. And his dad says, well, we gave him a tablet, but all he does is lay on his bed and play his games on his tablet. I can't get him to do work. How do I get him to do work? I'm sorry, I'm not the parent. You're
Yeah.
the parent.
That's not your job.
You have to step up. I cannot force your son to do the work.
Yeah.
You gave him the tablet. Take it away from him. Well, I can't do that because then he wouldn't like me. See, parents have to be
no.
parents, not friends. There's a difference.
Yeah.
My mother loved me. I knew she loved me, but she was tougher than nails. You know, I don't know. I think gaming. Even in my own life during Lent, except on Sundays, Saturdays and Sundays, I did not play the games anymore, because I'm finding that even in when I don't have anything to do, what do? Well, I turn to games, but that's when I don't have anything to do. These kids turn to it instead of the things that they should be doing.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
So, I'm sort of wandering here, but anyway,
It's okay.
technology is good. There are lots of good uses for it. I wish there were, and I'm gonna be looking because they tell me that I can get more on the Chromebook than, I'd looked a few years ago and the games weren't something that fit in with my curriculum. And I'm not just gonna put them in to just have games.
To just have it, yeah.
It's gotta fit into my curriculum. Mrs. Canali has said that there are some other ones, so we're gonna find some.
Good.
That fit in with more of my curriculum. I do allow, calculators is another thing. I don't allow calculators in 5th, 6th, and 7th, except when I'm teaching them how to do graphing on the TI-83,
Okay.
or in algebra, once we get to the point where they've passed the written tests on adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing whole numbers, fractions, and decimals, then I let them use calculators, because if they're on a 5-step word problem and they make a 2 times 3 error in the beginning because they added it and made it 5, they're gonna be wrong. So I think there are good uses. I think we as educators have to teach the children when
Yes.
is a good time to use them and when it's not acceptable.
Okay.
You know, for a 4th grader or a 5th grader to use it to do your times tables or for division, I don't think so. They need to learn those processes. So I think that we as educators need to educate when the appropriateness of a particular technological thing is good.
Okay.
Because there are lots of times when the kids use them where it's not the best part. It's not the best thing to be done. I do use the Chromebooks for religion tests because the kids can't write. It takes me so much longer to read. When they print, they don't leave any spaces between words. They don't differentiate between capitals and smalls. They don't use punctuation. I get the letter U for you, and I say to them, do you really want me to be your text buddy? And they're like, oh. I said, exactly. I said, I'm not your text buddy, I'm your teacher. You have to use appropriate language in order to communicate with an adult. I'm not one of your buddies on the playground, you know. So it's those kinds of things.
Okay. What skills do you help your students build for living in this culture, like this technological culture, this interesting culture, I think is the best way I can describe. What skills are you building in your students in your classroom?
Okay. Hopefully I'm building accountability. They are responsible to get their homework done. If they don't, you'd be surprised. They'll walk in the door and they'll say, Sister, I don't have my homework today. They don't wait till I find out. They just say to me, it's not in. And I say, okay, you know, with mine, the first one, anybody can get a homework. Get it finished. But the school rule is you get anything late is only 50% credit.
Wow.
You have to complete it, but then whatever grade they get on it, you divide it by half. And that's the grade. So so get an F. Any late assignment is an F.
Yeah.
Okay. They also get 1 homework pass, because anybody can, I mean, so I think accountability is important. I think honesty. When I give back a test, we always go through the test.
Okay.
And I make mistakes. And the kids will come up and they'll say, you know, Sister, you give 2 points. If we get it wrong, if we've got the right process, you'll give us 2 points. Can you re-look at this and see if I can get 2 points on this?
Yeah.
And so I'll look at it and I say, well, all right, this time I'll give it. So I give them the 2 points. Or they'll come up and they'll say, Sister, you didn't mark this one wrong and it's wrong. So I only take off 3 and I always put on it +2 for honesty.
Wow.
Because, I mean, I'm not sure I would have at this age gone up to a teacher and said, please take up, and I always say to them, I am so sorry. I said, I hate doing that. So go back and look and see if there's more points I can give you for something else. But I always write on it, +2 honesty. These kids are very honest, at least from what I see.
Okay.
In what I do in my classroom. But I think honesty, accountability, I think, I don't know what the word is, stick-to-itiveness.
Okay.
The kids would help me with the words. But to be, okay, this is a hard algebra problem. Oh, well, she'll give me the answer tomorrow, I'll just mark it wrong. No, they stick to it, and they'll come up and they'll say, what am I doing wrong here? I know that's the wrong answer, but where did I go wrong? And we'll go through it. We'll go, oh, and they'll erase from there, and they want to get the right answer. So they're determined. And I think determination is, not to give up. Life is hard. There are hard things in life, but when you succeed, if you get an A on a test and you didn't have to study and it was really easy, that's one thing. But if you get back an algebra test and you've been struggling and you get an A on that test, that's a neat feeling.
Yeah.
So I think also success. I think that, the stick-to-itiveness, I think the being, the honesty, I think, talked about as far as not only on the tests, but also on homework. What other things do I think the whole, how to talk to an adult, we're really working on that the kids don't say, yeah, okay. Parents accept it. We're asked as teachers not to.
Okay.
There's a way to talk to an adult
Yes.
that's different than talking to your neighbor or your friend, somebody your own age, your peer. Also, learning that mistakes happen and adults make mistakes, apologizing. When I do something or when I say something I shouldn't have, to apologize so that they learn. Everybody makes mistakes, and when you do, you own up to it.
Yes.
And you admit it. When you can stop and discuss something on that level with a teen and they understand it, for them to be able to admit wrong. Yeah. And live through it and find out that, tomorrow's another day and, I'm going to be fine.
Yeah.
And my life isn't ended because I did this one thing.
Yeah. Do you see the need for these skills more now in these generations than you did 20 years ago?
I think somewhat. I'm trying to think back. I think kids used to be more. Now it's no matter what goes wrong, it's the teacher's fault. When I was a kid and when I was first teaching, the teachers were given the benefit of the doubt.
Yes.
And the kids might have done something wrong. Maybe. Okay. Now it's, my child would never do that. You could have a video of the kid doing it and they would say, oh no, you're not seeing it correctly. They would find some excuse. we don't video, but they would, many of the children nowadays can do no wrong, and that's what they're learning, and I don't think that's good. I think parents, maybe because there are fewer children in a family, I think that's part of it. The fact that, there are one or two, and so they're the precious. I was one of two, but, it was a different era when I was going through school. But when you've got 6 or 7 kids, you see your kid at home, and they can do wrong, and they're, I don't know what it is, but I think the accountability, I think the determination and those other things that they need, I think are the same.
Okay.
But I think the whole aspect of what's right and what's wrong, a lot of the culture says if you don't get caught, it's okay.
Yes.
That doesn't make it okay just because you didn't get caught. I'm still wrong whether I get caught or not. And they're like, really? It's amazing. Because if you don't get caught, it's okay. And I don't know if parents teach that or if it's, I don't know. I don't know where it comes from. But I see a lot of parents who want to be buddies. I think also the fact that, I understand it, but I still don't like it with both parents working outside the home.
Okay.
My mother didn't work outside the home. She was never home because she was bowling or golfing or whatever. But we knew when we got home that we would have dinner together. That whatever, the four of us were going to sit down and talk about our day and how are things going and what's life going on. Has your homework done? Okay, you can go out and play until it gets dark or whatever. But now they eat in their car. It's all fast food. A lot of them, not all of them, but when you say, like in religion, we'll talk about it. And you know, how many of you, your whole family sat down to dinner last night? 2 or 3 kids out of 19 or 20. You know, it's just, when do they have that time? People don't. I mean, you go out, when you go out to dinner. People are texting on. They're not talking to each other at dinner.
No, they're on their phones.
Why are they there? Why are you? I could be in my bedroom eating. You know, people don't know how to talk to one another. And I think if we do too much technology, then that's what happens, is we don't have communication.
So my 3 teaching goals for this field-based assignment are: 1, to incorporate technology into the classroom at a healthy amount; 2, to focus on the students' positive aspects instead of what this generation is lacking. I think we can get bogged down by what this generation is lacking or the bad things about it. But we need to focus, I will focus on the positive aspects of this generation. And then thirdly, to give them opportunities to show their strengths, especially in a debate setting in the classroom. And so like a healthy way to argue. I think this is missing in this generation a lot, is a healthy way to argue, because everyone is focused on their opinions and they think their opinions are best, but we don't know how to argue without someone being right at the end of the argument. So I would like to strengthen that ability to argue healthily in the classroom.